Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Anna. I would like to show you something that I saw on a live presentation by Crystal. She is the owner at ASC Crafts, and I just thought this was so cute. She has lives every Thursday, and I'm going to put her Facebook link down in the description box so you guys can join her or us, because I try to watch every Thursday. So I wanted to make another, just follow her tutorial. And she did say she saw it on Pinterest because I thought it was so adorable. So this was my recreation. So she was making cards with her scraps, and then she made a little box to put her cards in. The paper pad, the Stamperia paper pad, and it is called Pink Christmas. So I did use that paper pad that I had hauled in my design team package, and I really like the way it turned out. So on the front, I just went ahead and put two mats on there, a gold mat, and then I used the pages from the paper pad, and I put a couple of poinsettias on there with a little spray right here that I've had in my stash like forever, and some leaves right there. And then for this little, it's kind of hard to see, but it says Holly Jolly, and I put that up on foam. And then here is the side, I didn't do anything to it, and then the back. Isn't that pretty? Oh, I just love that. So this is what it looks like from the bottom, and then this is what it looks like from the top. So I made 6 cards, and I followed her tutorial with the cards as well. So when you open it up, it opens this way. So this is what the inside looks like. It's got this pocket right there, so you can actually make your cards more dimensional. And that is what the box looks like, what the pocket without the cards. But I just thought, and you know what guys, these are just leftover pieces from when I was cutting this mat. So you know me, I didn't want it to go to waste, so I went ahead and put them there, and it looks all right. So that is what the inside looks like as well. And then here are my cards. So I used ready-made envelopes, and all I did was ink the edges so that it would match the cards a little bit better. And then here are my cards. I made 6 of them. So this one is the cut-aparts. These are from the cut-aparts page. And on the bottom layer here, on the bottom mat, I took some pearl, it was a cream colored pearlized card, and then I embossed it, and I did go over everything with I inked all the edges with worn lipstick from the Distressed Inks from Tim Holtz, and I matted this top layer with the gold paper, and like I embossed the bottom one with a Christmas embossing folder that I have. And then I just stamped this on the pink paper and made a little tag and just put that on the top. And I kept them really simple because I do want them to be able to be used and mailed out with one stamp. That's why I kept mine really simple, and they can be mailed out with one stamp, no problem. So that's why I kept them that simple, because you know me, I normally put a lot of stuff on my cards or whatever. So and the inside are stamped with the same sentiment. It says keep Christmas in your heart. And these are all the cut-aparts. So I just use those to make the cards. And we're gonna make one of these together, but we're gonna use the same paper pad. We're just gonna use a different color. Okay, so this just goes in there. This makes a great gift. I mean, it really does, especially if you're gonna have people over for Thanksgiving. They are so fast to make. Even making the cards, they're really fast. So we are going to make one today, and I'm gonna tell you what we're going to need. You are going to need one 8.5 by 11, this is 110 pound cardstock. And then you need another one that's 8.5 by 3 for the pocket. We're gonna have to score this 8.5 by 11. So we're gonna get our scoreboards. And on the short side, we're going to start with the short side on 1 and 2 and then 2.5. So we score at 1 and 2.5. So 2.5. Then we're going to rotate this onto the long side. Your scores are at the bottom. And we're going to score this one at 4 3/4. So 4 3/4. And then we're going to score at 6 1/4. Right here, 6 1/4. And that's all the scoring that we're going to do on the 8.5 by 11. So you are going to take your 8.5 by 3, and on the long side, we're going to score at 3/8 and 1 7/8, okay? 3/8, which is right here. Then we're going to go to the 1 7/8 right here. Then we're going to flip this over, and we're going to do the same thing. And we're going to go 3/8. We're going to again score at 1 7/8. 1 7/8. So at this point, both of the sides are the same. They have the same score marks. So we're going to flip it onto the short side, and it doesn't matter, you know, which way you flip it. Just flip it on the short side. And we are going to score at 1/2 inch. We score at 1/2 inch right here. Okay, and that's all the scoring we are going to do. So on the larger piece, we are going to cut all the way up to this score line right here. Okay, so remember, this one is going to fold in, so I'm going to cut this side because this is going to fold inwards. So we're going to cut this square, this one, and this one. Okay, I'm going to cut out the score line. So I'm cutting out the score line, and then we cut out all these other squares. So again, I'm going to cut out the score line. So I'm going right above that score line. And this makes the, you know, the front of the flap, the front of the book. Okay, so there's that. We cut that off. And then I am going to just cut a sliver off of this so it'll close properly. So there we go. Look, I just cut off a little bit, and if I need to, I'll cut more. But for the moment, that is going to be it. Okay, so this folds in this way. I just want to make sure that my folds are straight. And then this one is going to fold. So we fold all our score lines. All right, and that is the way our book is going to go. Okay, that's the base. Now for this one, we are also going to cut out a couple of things. We are going to cut out this centerpiece right here, and then this little square right there, and then this little square right there. Okay, so we're going to cut those out, and I'm just going to cut the score lines out. And that is all the cutting we're going to do there. Now we can go ahead and fold our score lines. All right. And this is our box. So our box is going to go this way. So let me go ahead and ink all those edges just the way I did the pink. I just want, you know, since it is white, I do want some color in there. And I know we're going to cover it you know, with mattes, but I still want some other color. I don't want it stark white. So I'm going to ink all the edges, and it doesn't take long at all because you know, it's just 2 pieces that you're going to be doing. All right, guys, I have covered my pieces here in ink, all the edges. Now, before I go ahead and assemble this, I'm going to go ahead and put the mats on there. So for the mats, this one we're going to do, again, same paper pad, different colors. So this one is silver. Okay, so for the mats, the silver mat here is cut at 4.5 by 5 3/4, and then the pattern paper is cut at 5.5 by 4 1/4. Okay, so they're the same for the front and the back. This is the inside of my box. This is the front, so this is going to go on the front. This one is going to go on the back, like that. And then my for my spine piece, I have cut 5 3/4 by 1 1/4, which is the silver. And then the pattern paper is 5.5 by 1. And I'm just going to glue all that down. Okay, guys, I have glued down the inside of the outside of my box, and that's what the outside looks like. Now the inside, I have cut. Let me get all my pieces here. So the inside, the spine piece is 5 3/4 by 1 1/4. Okay, so that one is going to go right here. And then the left side, which is this one right here, is cut at 4.5 by 5 3/4. This is the inside, guys. Okay, so that's going to go down right there. And then on the right side is 4.5 by 4.5, and that one is going to go right here. Okay, so that's all I'm going to glue down for now. Okay, guys, so you know I forgot the closure. Okay, so yes, I forgot the closure. So I pulled this off because I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do it at the moment. I guess I'm going to glue it on the inside. I mean, I don't want to pry that, you know, that front mat open, because then it, you know, you'll see the bumpiness. So I'm going to glue it on the inside. So these normally go on the outside, guys, okay? So when you make one, you make sure you glue it on the outside. And now I will glue this, I will glue my insides on. Okay, guys, so don't forget your closure when you're putting down your front mats. This is, you know, this is not a heavy duty box. So the closure will be, you know, it'll be fine right there because it isn't a heavy duty box. Now, and I did ink all the edges on all my mats as well, just so everything is cohesive and matching. So now we're going to work on this piece right here. And for this piece, we are going to mat this as well. And this is the color that I'm using for the inside. And for this little pocket, these are cut at 2 1/4 by 4.5, and that one's going to go right there. And then this one, actually this one goes on the book. This one's the bottom right here, and this is a leftover piece, so I didn't cut it I cut this one a little bit short. Well, it came out a little bit shorter. 1 1/4. It should be 1 1/4 by 4.5, but it's 4 1/4. But it's the bottom, so I didn't want this to go to waste. And I thought, well, let me use it anyway because it is the bottom. And these little pieces are 1 1/4 by 2 1/4, and those are going to go right. Okay guys, I had to stop what I was doing because my pocket was not fitting into my book. I had to stop and figure out what was going on because this pocket fit just fine. So when I made this one, I made a mistake because I went back and looked at the measurements that we were given. And on this pocket right here, I had told you to score at 3/8 of an inch. Well, when I made this one, I must have scored at 1/2 an inch because I'm so used to scoring at 1/2 an inch, and it fit. Now, making the next one, I went strictly by the, I guess I didn't make that mistake, and I scored at 3/8 of an inch, and I left this one like this so you can see. I scored at 3/8 of an inch, and it just wasn't measuring up, and I kept thinking, what am I doing wrong? So I stopped what I was doing and I started taking measurements and whatnot, trying to figure out what I had done. Well, if I scored at 1/2 an inch, it fits just fine. So that must have been what it is. So when you score your pocket, score it at 1/2 an inch, not 3/8 of an inch. Okay? So as you can tell, I had to take off the other one that I was putting on there because it wasn't matching up. So my next problem was I didn't want to cut into a new sheet of paper because this was for, I was using scraps. So this one wasn't quite long enough. So I took and glued 1/8 of an inch of strip of paper from the paper pad onto each side to make it a little bit longer. And I guess I could have made it a little bit wider, but yeah. So now, and this is how I glued the back, you know, to where it's flush with the front. I just put down a piece of double-sided tape and lined up the edge of the strip to the edge of the paper, and it makes it flush. Now I'm going to glue everything down and hopefully it's going to fit. I just can't believe that I made that mistake actually on the first one, and it worked out to my advantage. Okay, now we're gonna glue this down this way. Okay, so this is the front. Okay, now it's going to fit. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we are going to glue this flap down to the inside. Now these go glued to the inside as well. And there we go. Make sure everything fits nicely. There's our box, guys. All right, everything fits nicely. So now let me show you, so I'm glad that worked out. So now let me show you the cards that I had made for this. And again, I was just using scraps for these cards. So these cards have a little piece of, you know, the cardstock, and this is the pearlized paper, and I just used another embossing folder and I embossed it. I used stickles for the heart, for the star, and then I cut out in silver, the same silver that's on the front. I cut out some bows and put it on top of the little ornaments that are hanging, and that's all I did. And on the inside it says, "May the miracle of Christmas fill your heart with warmth and love." And they are all the same as far as the inside goes. And the outside, well, like I said, I was using the scraps, so I went ahead and backed it with silver glitter paper, and then put a little, you know, ephemera on there, the cut apart page. And there's that cute little kitty cat. And then, yeah, there we go. So that is another good way to use your scraps. And then the envelopes, I just inked the edges with the same, you know, with the same ink. And there you go. You can, as you can see, you can fit a lot more cards in here, or you can make them a little more dimensional. I thought maybe I would make some tags and put the tags in there as well, but I didn't get to do that. So there we go, guys. That is, I'm going to embellish the front a little bit, and I will call this done. Okay, so here are the two boxes that I have made, and I think these make great gifts. They honestly don't take long to make. They really don't, just because I ran into that little, you know, measurement problem, but they don't take long at all to make. And it's up to you how much embellishing you do as to how long it'll take to actually make. But anyway, let me embellish this one, and I will show you the end results in a little bit. All right, guys, this is how I have finished up the front of the card box. All I did was I added this applique, this butterfly applique, and then I added stickles to it, but it's not showing up very well on camera, I don't think. And then I added this poinsettia that I had made a few weeks ago. It's got the little glass ball center, and then some holly leaves. And then on the front, I stickled the little bird, and then I stickled the flame on the candle, as well as the dripping down wax, and then some of the flowers on the top. And that's all I did for the front, and it turns out beautiful. So this is a really, really quick and easy gift to put together. And now I think I'm gonna have to make a bag to put it in. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we will talk to everyone later. Have a wonderful day. Thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate you.